my doll collecting channel. Today I'm going to be doing a highly requested video, which is my thoughts on the Barbie movie as a doll collector. Now, a lot of people are talking about the Barbie movie. It's breaking records, everyone's seeing it. Probably wondering what this crazy outfit is. This outfit, I just got out of a pride parade. I was in a pride parade, and yes, the Canadian Prime Minister was there. Did I know he was there? No, he just kind of like snuck in, and I was at the front of the parade, so I didn't see him. So it was kind of a crazy time because people were like, did you see the Prime Minister? And I was like, I had no idea. Regardless of that, let's talk about the Barbie movie. Now, I don't have any script, I don't have any notes because I literally saw this on Tuesday. It is now Saturday. I literally have no time to post videos, not film videos. I don't even have time to film videos because I'm so in school and work, and it's summertime. Summertime is crazy. And yes, there's probably gonna be some spoilers, but I'm not gonna say anything that I haven't told anybody else. And people have said, oh, like, I'm like, okay, do you want spoilers? And then people are like, yes, and then I tell them, and then like, that's not really a spoiler. So it's like mini spoilers, maybe, sorta. I don't think there's anything major in the movie that you could be spoiled on. There's not like major plot twists or anything like that. Like Barbie doesn't die in the end, which I was joking that Barbie would die or Ken would die saving Barbie. That doesn't happen. I don't know if that's a spoiler, but Ken and Barbie don't die. Well, one thing about this movie, it is not just a fun, campy movie. Yes, there's aspects of it that are fun and campy and just fun, but it does have a lot of moments of like existential which you can totally see. I don't even think that's a word. This movie does pull on your heartstrings a lot. There is so much going on in this movie that I am thinking about watching it again, not because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like the most amazing movie ever, but because I feel like there's so many subtle messages in it that I just first time didn't go over my head because so many things are being bombarded at you at once and so many subtle references and so many subtle meanings and stuff that you just don't get it all when you watch it the first time. That's why you can walk into it and you'll go with 2 other people or 3 other people. I went with 3 other people, and you can have totally different experiences and interpretations of the movie because there is so much going on. Definitely about the patriarchy. They say the patriarchy a lot in that movie. That's definitely one of the key themes about the movie, is talking about patriarchy. And some other things it talks about is capitalism. And another theme that I noticed, it's kind of like, what I was surprised about was how much it talks about like mothers and being a mom, and how like you're a mom, you kind of like get pushed to the side sometimes. I've been Barbie obsessed. When I was a kid, I really liked Barbie Princess and the Pauper, Barbie Fairytopia, Barbie Diamond Castle. Those are the 3 Barbie movies that I loved, that were my favorite. And I always associated Barbie with like careers. I was thinking about it today, and I'm like, I don't know if I had any of the career Barbies, because I just loved the princess Barbies and like the Barbies with the fancy dresses and like fairy Barbies. I don't know if I asked for like any career Barbies, but I always associated Barbie with careers because that's what I saw most in like the toy section. So like I was like Dr. Barbie and Archaeologist Barbie and this Barbie and that Barbie, and I thought they were so cool, but I just love the princesses so much that kind of trumped everything. So I always associated Barbie with like careers and the princesses in the movies, and it kind of makes me sad that people like downplay how much the Barbie movies mean to Barbie fans. Like people just associate Barbie with like pink and girly and stuff like that, but Barbie has been so much throughout the ages, and that movie, or the movie, touches on that a little bit, but it does definitely play up the pink stereotypical Barbie. I mean, even the main character is stereotypical Barbie, and kind of flips it on his head and just makes a very interesting story because it makes it almost like a little bit way more accessible for people who maybe didn't grow up playing Barbies and just saw Barbie on the outside and wasn't really in the Barbie, I want to say culture. But I did really enjoy it, and I did actually have the pregnant midge Barbie. I did have that one, so it was nice to see references. I saw some people criticizing the beginning of the Barbie movie, saying that the opening scene sucked or wasn't good or was not feminist or something like that. And I think it's really missing the point. I think a lot of people are missing the point when they're criticizing the first scene. Now, I don't get fully the references because apparently the opening scene is similar to a scene from a movie called Space Odyssey, which I haven't seen, but that's what it's referencing. And this movie has a lot of other movie references and culture and pop culture references. I think people judge Barbie, but they're forgetting that before Barbie, the only dolls that existed were baby dolls, and that was the only thing girls could like play and pretend with, was being a mother and pretending to have a baby, which is like and I've never liked baby dolls. I have never been a fan of baby dolls. I had one baby doll growing up and I never used it. I never liked the idea of baby dolls. Like, it just, I don't like them. But it wasn't until I encountered an American Girl, well, it was Maple Girl, which is the Canadian 18-inch doll brand, and I was 8 years old and I was like, oh my gosh, it's a doll that's me. Like, it's my age. It's a girl who's supposed to be like me. It's not like, this doll is different because it's my age. But American Girls and other dolls that represent like 10-year-olds wouldn't have existed without Barbie. All of these things happened like in sequence. So Barbie really revolutionized things because it showed a doll that was an adult, that what girls could be, that she could have these fancy, first it started off with fancy clothes, and then it started with like cars, and then it evolved to careers, and then it evolved to all these things. But without Barbie, all these other dolls wouldn't exist. We would just only have baby dolls if it wasn't for Barbie really revolutionizing everything. One question I got when people are talking about the Barbie movie, some people from the trailers are like, okay, what is the plot? Like, what happens in the story? Why should we go see it? So this is a little bit getting into spoiler territory, so you might want to skip this section. But essentially, Barbie has a perfect life. Stereotypical Barbie has a perfect life. Everyone loves Barbie, played by Margot Robbie. And then suddenly things start to go wrong. She starts getting flat feet. She starts having feelings of existentialism, being like, do you ever think about death? And things just start, and like her food starts becoming burnt and expired, and so things are just kind of going wrong in this perfect world. So she has to go to the real world to figure out what is going on. Ken sneaks along with her and tries to help her, and then Ken, basically whatever happens in the Barbie world is kind of flipped in the real world. So in the Barbie world, Barbies are presidents, are different careers, in charge of everything. Kens don't really have a say, and Kens just follow along with the Barbies. Real world, Ken sees that men are the ones in charge, and he's only there for like a little bit, and he kind of gets this impression of like what the real world is like, and he calls it the patriarchy. And so he goes to the school library and gets these books about the patriarchy and just weird things, and he goes back and be like, this is what it's like in the real world, and this is why men are in charge, and all these weird ideas that are just kind of like a little bit silly, and it's exaggerated, and it's like a little bit like lost in translation. So he goes back and teaches the Kens and the Barbies, this is what the real world is like. Patriarchy is what they call it, and that's the word they use. They're like, patriarchy, and like, this is a great thing. And then the Barbies start to kind of fall into that, and the Kens start to fall into that. Meanwhile, Barbie's still stuck in the real world, and she has to do a few more things. And when she comes back, she's shocked that this world she knew before is so different, and Ken has taken over her dream house. Kens have taken over everything. The Barbies are now just the accessories because the Kens are in charge, and the Kens are singing songs that objectify the Barbies, and just so many things are going on. And then also it's very silly is the best way I can describe it, because like, for example, Ken is like, thinks that to be manly, like horses, like the patriarchy is represented in horses, and that's kind of weird, and it's a funny thing. And really, it's one of those things, in order to get a good judgment on that, watch it for yourself. I don't really believe in telling people not to watch a movie, or like, I really hate those reviews that are like, oh, I didn't like this movie, or I didn't like this aspect of the movie, so don't watch it. And then people are like, okay, I'm not gonna watch it. No, watch the movie yourself and disagree with me, or talk about it with your friends. Make your own decisions about it. Don't just listen to a person on the internet. Please watch this movie for yourself if you're interested in watching it. But another aspect of Ken's story and I think it's really important, is that Barbie, the movie, teaches you not place your value in other people. For example, Ken is so obsessed with Barbie and wanting to get in a relationship with Barbie that he doesn't focus on himself, and he doesn't take care of himself, and his whole identity is wrapped around this person he's attracted to, Barbie. And I think that's a really, really important message for people of any gender to hear. Another question I received from people is, do you think this movie is appropriate for kids? Do you think that this is a kid's movie? And I feel conflicted. I just want to preface this by saying I'm not a parent, but I'm training to become a teacher. I am currently in my teaching program to become a certified teacher, and I am currently a substitute teacher. So I know a lot about how to teach kids, but I don't know a lot about how to raise kids, which on the surface doesn't sound that different, but I feel like if you're a parent or a teacher, you know the difference between the two. So I know a lot about teaching kids. I don't know a lot about raising kids. So you need to make, the main thing I have been saying is that you need to make that decision for yourself. Maybe watch the movie first and then make the decision if you want to show it to your kids or not. There is some jokes that are kind of like, a little bit edgy is the best way I can describe it. But if you do decide to show this to your child, I thought Barbie had a lot of great lessons in it and a lot of great ways to introduce different topics to your children, such as, sexism and gender inequality, and also relationships and how to have a responsible relationship, and like not just with people, but maybe like with friends. Also, it teaches people that your parents have feelings, which we don't see a lot in movies, especially like with mothers. Like we don't see I know there's a few differences, like there's this TV show called Bluey, and I've seen a few clips and it talks about the parents' perspectives and things like that. So that's really cool, and it might be just a new media trend, but growing up I didn't see people talk about like, oh, how does your mom feel? How does your parents feel when this situation happened? Because your parents are there, but so many stories are focused on the kid's perspective, not much on the parents' perspective. And Barbie does talk about the parents' perspective. There is the teenage daughter's perspective or the middle school daughter's perspective, but it's more focused on the mom's perspective. Sometimes people are like, why should we teach the children about the patriarchy? And I'm like, if you are a girl or even a boy, you're gonna start seeing these things. You're gonna start having questions about, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why am I being mistreated at school? Why is my brother allowed to do things and I'm not allowed to do things, or vice versa, or things like that. Kids have those questions. I've seen kids have those questions, and that's definitely some things that kids are going through and experiencing. So I've been talking for about half an hour. This video is probably not going to be half an hour long, but I don't have a script because I didn't have time to write one. And sometimes you guys like my casual improv videos. So this is just my general honest opinion. Since it's improv, you know that it's a genuine honest opinion. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos about doll news, about my collection, advice I have for doll collectors, that sort of thing, make sure to hit subscribe. Also follow my Instagram for more photos of my dolls over there, and also follow my TikTok if you have a sense of humor. Oh, I should probably ask you, what did you think about the Barbie movie? I want to hear your opinions. Leave it in the comment section below.